Hi, this is Josh Marshall from TPM Media. It's Thursday, August 2nd, 2007. You know, about 2 months ago, we brought you the story of Senator Ted Stevens. He's the longest-serving Republican senator in the history of the United States, also known as a master of pork barrel spending, sending money back to the state of Alaska. So what he's in the news for now is having his Alaska home renovated, courtesy of executives from the Vico Corporation. That's the big Alaska Oil Services Corporation, whose executives recently pled guilty to federal bribery charges for bribing multiple Alaska politicians, including Stevens' son. Now, in case you thought we were kidding, just Monday, Stevens had his Alaska home, the one that got renovated, he had that home raided by federal agents from the FBI and the IRS. You can see it happening right here. So clearly, the senator is the target now, or the subject, of a pretty serious criminal investigation. We still haven't gotten word on what they took, what they found, but I'm sure we'll find out more about that soon. Now, from the home raid, things pretty much went downhill for the rest of the week for Stevens. A little later on, it emerged that a Senate staffer, who for reasons that we don't quite understand, also manages Stevens' personal finances, had to testify before the grand jury that is investigating Stevens. After that, we found out that the probe into Stevens has expanded beyond the house renovation scam to a series of earmarks that may have been corrupt in some way or other. So it hasn't been a great week for Senator Stevens, but his fellow senator from the state of Alaska, Lisa Murkowski, has now stepped forward to defend him. Here's what she said just yesterday. Senator Stevens has served his country in the state of Alaska with distinction for over 60 years. With the current investigation underway, it is not appropriate to jump to conclusions until the process is complete. Senator Stevens has the right to have the facts established in this matter. Well, it turns out Senator Murkowski understands what something like this must be like, because you remember the last time we discussed Senator Murkowski with you is when we discussed how she had bought a parcel of land from a wealthy Alaska fat cat for half price. Now, it turns out we've also got an update on Murkowski. Since we brought you that episode, Murkowski has now agreed to sell back the plot of land. Now, one more piece of Alaska news. You know, Alaska is a big state in geography, small state in population. It only has 3 members of Congress, 2 senators and 1 representative. We found out since our last Alaska corruption episode that the member of Congress, Don Young, is also the subject of a criminal investigation. Now, you probably remember just a couple weeks ago, Young went to the House floor and threatened a fellow member of Congress, Scott Garrett, that he would bite Scott Garrett like an Alaskan mink. Here's some video of that shocking moment.
I'm a little bit chagrined by the gentleman from New Jersey. This is supposed to be a house of honor, and yet you say you want my money for my students that need to be educated to go to New Jersey. And if we continue this, what we call biting one another, very much like the mink in my state that killed their own. There's always another day when those who bite will be killed too. And I'm very good at that. So I am a little frustrated, and like I say, those that bite me will be bitten back. Now you back to balance my time.
Now, just yesterday, Wednesday, we learned that in a tearful speech before the Republican Study Committee, Young has now apologized to Garrett for the biting threat. No word on whether there's been any apologies to the minks, but we'll get back to you on that. We're going to take a quick break, and when we're back, we'll tell you about what we have coming up this weekend. So as we told you a couple days ago, TPMtv is going to the yearly Coast Convention in Chicago this weekend. We're going to be bringing you updates Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, several updates a day from the convention, interviews, discussions with TPM readers who we find there. So stay tuned over the weekend for daily updates from Yearly Coast. I'm Josh Marshall, and we'll talk to you this weekend.
You've harmed Alaska by this malicious attack on me.